Ashley's back.
Yeah.
We told you she'd be making a home-style mac. It's got caramelized onions. It's got bacon. They're big pieces. Today on BoxMac.
Today on BoxMac. Why are you doing all the intros now?
Because you told me I did the last one. Well, you do the f***ing intro.
No, you did it. It's done.
I am slicing an onion right now. I use this handy device called a knife. We have to get some caramelized onions, cook it over low heat with salt and butter until kind of light brown color. I have more than a tablespoon in there. It's a lot of waiting and then stirring and then waiting and then stirring. Right now I'm just putting layer upon layer of onions and sprinkling some salt in between each one. And this helps bring the water out of the onions. This is 2 onions worth, and it seems like a lot of onions. I don't really like onions, but when you caramelize them, they tend to shrink.
Incoming, John.
Incoming, John.
Is my mic off? Oh no, I made the butter big pieces.
So now we cover it and we wait. Pretty low heat at this point. We're gonna let the onions sweat.
I'll lean suggestively against things.
That's so suggestive.
Suggestive that I want bacon.
I'll knock suggestively into things.
Some people will tell you when you're caramelizing onions to like set it and forget it, leave it alone. Every time I do that, it burns.
I've never seen it done in a saucepan before. Is that a particular style?
It's caramelizing them, so it's a slow cook rather than a fast cook. So they need time, they need to sweat out all of their water, and then they need to caramelize.
There you go.
Brown. How much do you guys like garlic? Because I tend to put way too much.
A ton.
Good.
The garlic is big pieces.
I am really excited because I have to do very little work today. I can sit back and provide the color commentary to Ashley's excellent cooking effort.
So well said. Her cooking effort. He doesn't know yet if it's going to be any good.
My effort.
Well, so far, I know you're putting in effort. I try to stay as unbiased as possible. I mean, all the ingredients seem delicious and wonderful, so I can't see how it
We're
wouldn't
actually, instead of noodles, we're using gnocchis.
be. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense because if you have a really thick, creamy sauce, it's going to be a really great blend.
Is that the logic? Mm-hmm. That's what...
Also, gnocchi is delicious, and...
You just like gnocchi?
Yeah, I like it.
I might not even really qualify as a mac and cheese.
That's a gnocchi and cheese.
Yeah. A gnocchi and ham.
Gnocchi and cheese.
And you got some garlic you're doing too. Usually what I do, I have big heavy French glasses, so I just crush them with that.
Onion was a really big part of your homestyle mac.
Oh yeah.
As were tempered eggs.
Yes, that was the first time I'd actually ever cooked with tempered
Oh,
egg.
do you have an egg?
I do.
He's really desperate to use this chair. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Because occasionally she's going to have to like go to the fridge.
No, I'm gonna be the fridge
Yeah,
proxy.
he's fridge bitch.
Fridge processor.
I need a frying pan next.
Frying pan you can find in this drawer. There are several types available. This chair's not actually junt compliant, by the way. I fall off it. You can see I'm sliding right down. Frankie, I'd just like to point out, the bacon is big pieces.
Whoa, the bacon is a big piece.
Now at home, do you have a gas stove or do you have an electric stove?
I have a gas stove.
I really want a gas stove.
You know, I was gonna ask you how you're liking this situation here.
I love it as a surface. If I want to take something out, it's a nice flat surface. It's super easy to clean. You just Windex it. But that's where the advantages end. There's no gas service to the property, so I'd have to get bottled gas. There's something very appealing about sitting in your kitchen and having other people cook. Like, Alexa, cook me a bacon mac. Bacon cutting B-roll, new asset tag category. Bacon cutting B-roll, new asset tag category. I've never seen bacon like this in my life.
The poor piggy.
This was a skinny piggy.
No, they starved him and then they killed him.
Must you bring your
Your wife's politics into it. Those pigs look just like little dogs and everything. And they're
crikey.
and they're kind of smart.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just don't feed them, then kill them, then eat them, then make internet jokes about them.
So why aren't you a vegan, Mr. Vegan?
I was for a little while, for like those months.
And you weren't so happy with it because I mean you were also on a very restrictive vegan.
Yes. When I go vegan, I go everything else.
I could manage it. If there was like a vegan challenge where you have to like eat vegan for $1 million for a month, I could.
Yeah.
Well, for Christ's sake, I would hope so.
So you may wonder why I'm taking all this time to slice the bacon rather than just cooking it and then crumbling it. I actually prefer the bacon to be a little chewier in this recipe rather than crispy.
Yep.
If I wanted crispy bacon, I would bake it in the oven, but I kind of like to...
I prefer that the bacon be big pieces.
I was gonna let that joke go.
kind of helps it cook more evenly than doing it in the strips as well.
See, if I were doing this just because I'm so lazy, I'd take a food shears to it and just clip it into pieces.
Did you have food shears that you didn't tell me about?
I'm sorry.
Your competency level looked high. Like
Yeah.
you wanted to do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, mushrooms, I never use mushrooms in cooking, ever. They are great for flavor. Texture is the thing that always gets me on mushrooms. Not so much these. These are nice, small, compact mushrooms.
When does the Grey Poupon come into it?
That goes in the cheese sauce. It's the mustard that I like and I have at my house.
Familiarity. Nina's big on yellow. It's one of the things that she puts on things to make them taste like things.
Now, Jen, when you make bacon, do you reserve the bacon fat to cook with?
I do.
Good man, Jen.
For all kinds of other things.
Bacon and onions are gonna take a while.
Well, I'm really glad you could come out and,
I'm
cook
so
some mac
excited.
for us.
We've been talking about it for like a year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you guys will find yourselves in my kitchen sometime. Come visit me in Austin.
Getting me out of New England is a real chore, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's like Operation Dumbo Drop.
Wow, that was,
You could grate the cheese.
Sure. I have more bowls if you need them, too. I can go summon them. Oh, lo, lo.
That's how you summon a bowl.
So me and Frankie only had one class together, and he kind of like stayed in the periphery of my Facebook friends. And I had unfriended a lot of people from college, but I liked like kind of paying attention to what you were doing with Red Cow. I keep a number of people on my friends list because I'm like, if they get famous someday, I want to be like, oh, I do them. So
I want to cook them something.
sometimes I'll get mozzarella because that like has like kind of a cool texture to add into the mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
If I have a really sharp cheddar, maybe I'll get like Colby Jack because that'll kind of help spread it out, make it spread a little more.
So you're all trial and error and,
Oh, yeah.
and Googling.
There was a woman who built a whole house with YouTube videos. Just watching YouTube videos on how to build a house. Now, it doesn't speak to the quality of the house.
Kara Brookins couldn't afford to buy a home large enough for her family. So, with the help of YouTube, she built one. Kara took out a loan from the bank, and together, she and her 17, 15, 11, and 2-year-old children worked long hours to assemble the home they live in today.
We didn't even talk about the fact that you've got a book deal.
It is being released in April, on April 4th from Quirk Books, and they're actually the publisher who published Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's called How to Eat a Lobster, and it is not necessarily a cookbook, it is a book of culinary how-tos. It's my first book, and I'm real excited
But
about it.
how do you market something like a culinary how-to book? Okay, wouldn't you just say cooking book just to get it out there?
Well, then people are gonna think there's recipes in there.
And they'll be so disappointed.
I will get slammed on Amazon.
2-star reviews. Had a lot of really good tips, but no recipes. WTFTF. Is it available for pre-order on Amazon?
Yeah, it's available for pre-order on Amazon.
It's available for pre-order on Amazon. B-L-O-M, Blom.
Blom rhymes with mom.
That's like a lifelong thing.
Yes, because everyone says Bloom. Ashley
Really?
Bloom. It's like there's one.
No, it's quite
O.
obviously Blom.
Is there just 4 letters?
I get Fran, Frankie Fran. But people that know me well say that.
The bacon's looking pretty cooked. We
Looks
got
great.
little crispy edges, but for the most part it's chewy, which I like and I think works better in baking in general. Otherwise you get kind of that carbony flavor. So what I'm gonna do now is push the bacon to the edges of the pan where it's typically cooler so that it doesn't cook quite as quickly. And I'm gonna use the bacon grease to soften the mushrooms.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
I'm gonna kind of let it hang out here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna mix it all together so they get saturated in the back bacon fat.
Is that the kind of tip we'll find in your book?
No, because it's not a cookbook. How to taste cheese.
And do you actually go over how to eat a lobster?
I do. I go over how to like break down a lobster, what parts you can eat.
I have only ever had a fully shelled lobster. I mean, a handful of times, and I've usually just struggled my way through.
My dad was a fisherman. I used to bring him home and he'd put them on the ground.
Yep.
And our dog would bark at them and stuff, and they'd be like,
If there's extra, it goes really great in an omelet.
Not only do we get delicious mac today, I get delicious omelets tomorrow.
This is what happens when Ashley does not measure. It's interesting to me that your episodes are so long, because in the food blogging world, they tell you to be as quick as possible, as short as possible. Those tasty videos.
Yeah, those tasty videos, which make it look so fun, but they're just cooking a recipe. And a lot of those tasty recipes aren't even that good.
No, they're not. They're very bland.
they're clearly just for silent play on Facebook.
Those Pillsbury crescent rolls really aren't good bread.
Oh, I love using crescent rolls.
You do?
I have a recipe on my blog right now for a pumpkin breakfast Danish using crescent rolls.
Really?
It came out really good.
Do you use Pillsbury ones? Or I mean, I cook up all right. Actually, there's one thing I do like. Once a year, I have the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. It's a Christmas tradition.
Cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning is the way.
Yeah, and the Pillsbury ones is the means.
That's right.
I also use it as a crust for quiche.
The key is just in the mix, right? It's not so much.
Yeah.
Frankie keeps stealing cheese. I just want to point that out.
As you can see, the mushrooms are nice and tender now. And we are, unfortunately, for Frankie, going to bake the gnocchi for a little bit, so they might soften up a little bit more. Because you don't like them to be baked.
Right.
I know things about you.
I want you to make sure that you don't dry your mac out. Can you make me that promise right now?
Yes, we only want to brown the top a little bit.
All right. See, she's talking her bullshit.
No, she has much more professional cooking cred than we do.
Bacon and mushrooms.
The bacon and mushroom surprise.
Bacon and mushrooms.
Bacon and mushrooms. Bacon and mushrooms. Bacon and mushrooms for you.
Bacon and mushrooms.
Would you like some bacon and mushrooms too?
Not caramelized in the slightest.
How do they become caramel?
You brown them slowly.
You don't add, a Charleston chew?
You can add a little bit of sugar. The browning process is what sweetens it up.
Oh, wow.
I don't really know.
That brings out sugars or something?
Probably. I don't know.
No, well, there's natural
It just
sugar.
works.
There is natural sugars in the onions, and by doing that, you're pulling the sugars out with everything.
That's what I just said, dude. Ashley, look at the camera. Tell them you'll see them next time. And next time we'll finish the mac.
I'll see y'all next time on the BoxMac to finish.
That's pretty good.
Last week, Ashley joined to try 4 HEB Macs we'd never had. Then watch the end of this year's Christmas special to see Junt Homestyle 2.0. See us finish Ashley's recipe next Sunday.